Exactly. All right, gentlemen, let's move straight to our next conversation. Religious leaders often face public scrutiny, but their reactions to such criticisms can set the tone for reconciliation or conflict. The General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, RCCG, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, has called for the release of a TikToker, Olumide Ogunsonwo, popularly known as Sea King, who was detained for allegedly cyberbullying the revered man of God. During a recent sermon, Pastor Adeboye clarified that he has no involvement in the arrest and emphasized that such criticisms are anticipated in his prophecies for the year. He urged authorities to release the individual. Now, Pastor Adeboye calling for the release of the TikToker who cyberbullied him. You know, in the Bible, they say, touch not my anointed, Psalm 105, verse 15. Yes, my daddy is a pastor, so I know. What are your thoughts on this one?
Well, I think Pastor Adeboye demanding for the immediate release of the guy was a good thing to do. He played the role of a good father, you know. Today's young people, a lot of them have no training. They abuse elderly people, especially on social media. Social media is being rampantly misused by our people. It's being rampantly misused. It's meant for people to connect and even bridge the distance gap between people across the world. But what do our people do? They just use social media to try to diminish people that they know that they cannot measure up to. You see a person not good enough to lace your boots, abusing you publicly, calling you all kinds of names, you know, and when some people see you, they can't even look.
They can't, exactly.
I've had examples like that. Even here.
Really?
As somebody who will come appear on our programs, our breakfast show, but he will go and be abusing me on social media. At the time when I was head of the channel.
Okay.
Yes. As head of channel, I will see people that come on our program going on Facebook just for the fact that I try to be objective as best as I can. Oh, they saw me as an enemy of APC. They will be abusing me. But when they see me physically, we see eyeball to eyeball, they can't even look at my face for a few seconds. They put their heads down. So what is the point? You also abuse people because you have political differences with them. You insult your elders. You disagree with people. Social media is supposed to allow for healthy conversation, healthy argument. We can argue, but it's not personal. But that's not the way many people see it. They believe that you must agree with them, even when you are wrong. You must agree with them. If you don't agree with them, they'll call you names.
They are not knowledgeable. They just argue based.
You must argue. People who are not fact-based, they are the noisiest argumentators. Because they know that if they have to face you fact for fact, they don't stand a chance. Sure. So they would rather make the argument messy.
And turn it to insult.
Yes, and just they know that once they start abusing you, even body shaming people, you feel that this is not for me.
Exactly.
But Adeboye said people should fast for 100 days. It's not as if, for me, even when we are cracking jokes here on TVC, I tell some of the SMT members who are close to me that, look, I don't think 100 days, telling our wives to fast for 100 days is the ideal situation. I don't like to deceive myself. I don't like to deceive myself. Because, look, if in the course of the way we interpret the scripture is different.
Sure.
Some people will say, okay, during fasting they can minister to their wives. Well, it's not every wife that will agree to that.
Exactly, true.
To some wives, you must wait
Until the fasting is done.
In this case, you must wait until April. You know, for some wives,
Sure.
you have to wait till April. They are not going to have that donate. So I guess this guy was thinking for people that 100 days is too much now. This and Baba Adeboye is saying, look, I didn't ask you. I only asked for members of the church to fast. I didn't say everybody should fast. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to my children who are members of the church. I didn't say it's for everybody. So Baba simply interpreted what happened as, well, we received prophecy that people will try to abuse us, ridicule us, and all that, and that. To him, prophecy has been fulfilled by what this fellow has done. Now, it seemed like some members of the church felt aggrieved and lodged a report. You know, and Baba is saying, it isn't me. In fact, go ahead and release him. I think that it's best to just release him at this time in the hope that he will have picked up valuable lessons. Nigerians are sometimes when people are in this kind of situation, it's Nigerians who will be pushing that, don't apologize, don't do it. Don't. The same way some of them, the case of Farotimi, I thought the old man behaved in a dignified manner. What are you going to gain from a lengthy court trial? You know, something that you don't know how it will all end. But some people are saying, oh, Farotimi remained dignified in the end. He didn't have to apologize. He didn't do this. Nigerians will push you, invariably into the lion's cage. They want you to see yourself as a hero. What's all this after?
To what end?
Hero.
Exactly.
You know? So when elderly people behave in this manner, I'm happy. Because it's like what Jesus Christ said on the cross. Baba, if you want to let one amount, Father, forgive them. They know not what they are doing. I'm not saying that this guy, I just think that there should be moderation in the way we use the social media, especially this TikTok. People will just
put on ring lights
and start abusing people.
Exactly.
I've seen some, especially some of the people based abroad, because they believe that nobody can catch them. Some of the things they say about other people, honestly, it makes no sense. One of them was jailed the other day. They believe that no, nothing will happen to them. They can't say some of those things here in Nigeria. They stay there, threatening people in their own country, abusing people, lying against people. If you lie against someone, you must be able to prove it. Otherwise, people will eventually use their fists to settle matters. The other one, somebody, the other day, one of these Lagos state officials beat up an activist in broad daylight. They were taking them to police station. He still beat him again because he knew that having lied against him, there is nothing that he can say that people will believe. The first set of people to read the story will have made up their minds that, oh, this guy was wrong. So he had to deal decisively with him. He punched him, got him bloodied. They were taking them to police station. He still beat him there. So this is it. I'm not saying that I can do that. But if people continue to abuse the social media, more and more people will resort to self-help.
So this should serve as a lesson. Section 39, subsection 99 talks about freedom of expression. But there is a limit where Section 45 talks about. In your opinion, are Nigerians fully aware of the content of the Cybercrime Prohibition and Prevention Act of 2015?
I believe a lot of Nigerians are aware, but a lot of people don't care.
They don't care.
They don't give respect to the law of the land. And the same thing we accuse our leaders of doing. That's the way some of us, that's the way many of us conduct ourselves. We just, feel, we act with impunity. Have no respect for culture, have no respect for values, have no respect for morality. I'm not a member of Redeem, but personally I have a lot of respect for Pastor Adeboye. And I think he's one of our outstanding icons, not just in the black race, but in this country. This is somebody who his church has presence in 197 countries all over the world. That is not a small feat.
True.
And then he has about 15 followers, 15 million to 20 million followers all over the world. In 2008, Newsweek listed him as one of the most influential, one of the 50 people, most influential people in the whole world. 50.
Yeah, exactly.
And he happens to be one of them. And I think years later, an influential magazine, African Now, or something like, named him one of the 100 most influential Africans, people in Africa. So for such a person who is about 82 years old now, he has never served in any government, for him to run an institution, like Redeeming Church, and to establish it to be a kind of model all over the world. I've seen him holding meetings with presidents, prime ministers of great nations all over the world. Such a person deserves our respect. So, and I think that he said that people should fast for 100 days. There is a lot of good things about fasting. It's good for your health. Fasting does not mean abstinence from food. You can eat while fasting. You can drink water while fasting. It's also, apart from being good for your health, it's also a way of, re-energizing yourself spiritually. So, and for me, I don't think there's anything bad in that. In some countries, it's a state law. If you go to Saudi Arabia, for instance, the Ramadan. You have to observe it. So, there's nothing bad in fasting. This year, I fasted for 30 days on my own. Yes. So
I think I'll try that one. But because of our time,
what he said,
just in one minute, do you agree that social media should be regulated?
It has to be regulated. There's no country that does not regulate social media. In US, you can't just write anything you like. So if you see what people are doing, people are promoting religious violence, people are promoting terrorism, they come against one religion, Islam, say all sorts of things about Islam, say all sorts of things about Christianity, say all sorts of things about traditional religion, instigating one ethnic group against the other. It's not good. And many of these people have followers. So if he used the word, he said what Baba said was stupid. I checked the meaning of stupid. It means that it's not intelligent. Somebody who had masters in PhD in hydro mathematics and then PhD in applied mathematics, say it's not intelligent. So that's ignorance.
As if it's more
It's
intelligent.
ignorance.
Exactly.
You are more intelligent than him. So we need to be cultured. We need to have respect for the dignity of the human person and respect for elders. It's one of the cardinal moral principles of we Africans.
I agree with you. All right, let's move straight